Yosef asks, hi, I'm a Canadian, just finished law school in LA. How hard is it to be on a TN visa? And it's not hard at all, actually, but you do need to find an employer, someone who's going to hire you. So you need an employer for the TN. They're going to be switching the TN name probably to the USMCA because they renegotiated an NAFTA agreement. So the names might change, and there's arguments that they may get stricter on licensure. So if you're going to practice law in LA, will you have passed the California bar? So I would say definitely, if you can, take the California bar and pass it. That's going to help a lot. But if you have the degree primarily, and you have, and probably license to get Cal Bar, but also you have an employer that's willing to say, I'm going to hire this person. It's pretty straightforward for a lawyer's TN. But again, we'll wait and see because they're switching things up, and we'll see how they adjudicate things under the USMCA. But the TN is a visa category that's specific to Canadians and Mexicans. So if you're a Mexican or Canadian passport holder, there's a job list of certain jobs where you just, if you find that job, come to the United States and do that job. You have to have an employer separate from yourself. You can't be self-employed. But if you meet the requirements of having the licenses or experience levels and that kind of stuff in that specific position, and you have an employer that's going to hire you, you could apply for the TN visa. If you're Canadian, you can normally do it at the border. To come back in, Mexicans have to do it at the U.S. Embassy. Or if you're in the United States, you can request what's called change of status and extension of status. There's premium processing for TNs as well. So it's a great opportunity for our neighbors to the north and the south to take advantage of it, and we do those kind of lots. So it's a good situation. CMT says that's cool, never heard of that. Yeah, so it's for Canadians, TN is a big one, and also the E2 investor visa that a lot of different people from a lot of different countries can do. Not usually the big ones, but a lot of Canadians in particular come to the United States, open up a business. For example, if you went to law school and you open up a law firm in Los Angeles, wherever really, where you're barred, you could run a business. You could, say I'm running a law firm, in this example, a gentleman went to law school, and I invested, I rented an office space, I bought a computer, chairs, I hired somebody, this and that. Now I want to get an E2 investor visa because I invested and I started this business in the US, and you start your own law firm and you can stay here. Now, starting a business like a law firm right from the bat you got to run with it. It's not an easy thing to do, but study how it is if you want to do something like that. Now that allows self-employment right there. So you don't have to have a boss. You could be your own boss, but you just got to be good at business. You got to get the business. You got to hire people and get employees, and more important than that, you got to get the business, so you got to get clients in that kind of scenario. But the E2 visa is possible, and there's no minimum investment amount. It's just how much you need to succeed, and you have to have a business plan for that. It specifies what your costs are, what your expected income is, and how you could do that, all this kind of stuff, and you kind of sell it. It's like going to one of these shows like the Shark Tank or something, where you go with your business idea, investors pay you money. You got to sell it to USCIS or the State Department through the embassies to say, hey, I am going to succeed when I go there. I have experience, I have the things I need, I have the money I need, I've set everything up. And you spend the money too, you need the receipts to show that you spent the money, and then, hey, come here, open up your law firm or anything else. Now, Canadians could do that. I believe Mexicans do that as well. There's a list of countries that have this treaty with the United States called the E2 treaty that permits them to come and open up businesses in the US. Unfortunately, China doesn't have it, India doesn't have it, Brazil doesn't have it, Russia doesn't have it. So a lot of these large countries do not have them. But if you have a passport of one of those countries that does, then you can use that and come here. It's called the E2 visa. I'll email my office, we do a consultation and talk about it. But hopefully that information helped.